Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today I wanted to post games 1 and 2 of the yesterday's Krashy Cup Draft Showmatch. This was a show match between TTV and Bad Macro Flipbird, where we put them in a best-of-5 competitive series, and we actually have them draft their team. So before each game, I'm going to show you an image of the drafts. If you want to watch the full draft, the full VOD, the full event, the link will be down in the description below and in the pinned comment, but I'll be posting the rest of the games after this. I hope you enjoy it.
Sprinkles is completely baked. I don't know if you're in that top lane, you are stacking, right? I mean, you're scoring so much in that top lane, so it almost feels criminal not to stack something if you're up there.
And here we have it. Let's go on ahead and move into the game. You can see the picks as we go on ahead and transition over to our scene here. So it's going to be very, very, very interesting to see what's going on. But
yeah.
I'm excited about it. I'm very, very excited about it.
Me too, man. Me too. Krashy's taking the wheel. He's going to be moving us through this whole thing here. So who do you want to start with, Krashy? I mean, are we watching that bottom lane? Are we watching that top lane?
Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and watch the bottom lane. The irony is that my OBS has got it flipped. I don't know why that's happening that way. So that's going to be interesting. Huh.
What's flipped?
It's so me and you are seeing it, but the stream sees it differently. That's really weird. Let me see if I can.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see if I can fix it on my end. So they're doing their laning phase, but really interesting things.
I mean, from what I'm seeing, because I have the stream up as well, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know how to explain it, but here we are in the bottom lane. The first little bit has kicked off. It wouldn't be a unique event like this if I didn't have some kind of a technical issue, but we are watching them. Oh wow, the mime wall stops Zugrug from being able to kind of make any kind of aggression. And you know, a part of me thinks that like the bottom lane is just so standard that I might rather watch top lane. As I say that, Cinderace finds a kill. So let's go ahead and look at Toon, who has already lost his top laner. And, you know, the scoring has started to set in. Go so easy peasy is already getting a little bit of lane influence, and Toon just wants to see if he can get some farm, get the crab back up there. We have Lutano coming back to the top lane, so we'll see if they can contest these bees, because the bees are up. And this is a pretty pivotal moment for the early game. It's just that 2v2 that happens in the top lane.
Ooh, this is nice. They're almost going down here. Looks like they're not going to be able to take it, heading back into the jungle right there. But yeah, that early gank from Cinderace really dealt with Lutano's Blastoise.
Yeah, and as I said that, or as we're taking a look at this, we do see that Indy Bear does have the soft boiled. He's kind of like zoning off right here. Toon's going to be looking to help a little bit in the bottom lane, but they did lose Zugrug at some point. Toon comes in, finds a nice elimination there.
That is really nice. Oh, and now we have Cinder coming down from Bad Macro, so they're responding to this. Wow, a double. Oh no, we got another. Ooh, so close.
Yeah, there's just a lot of trading happening here.
You could see how dominant that Ninetales is early, man. I mean, one of the most difficult Pokemon to deal with in lane by far.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's I'm so interested in this top lane, because if you look at the experience, Lutano was the one that fell first in the game, if I remember correctly. But experience-wise, he's not super far behind. As I say that, look at this. They're already sieging down in this bot lane. Finds Toon. Toon going to be looking to pick up that third. It's Bruv. His focus band is popped. He's not going to be able to stay alive for too much longer. But look, they're going to go ahead and peel off, get their score. It does look like Toon. Oh yeah, yeah. Look at that.
That's such a fun move. Oh man, what an interesting setup. So many different plays that you don't get to see. We're seeing a Brave Bird Talon as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, it looks like he's going to be going Brave Bird, Aerial Ace, so he's really bursty kind of a setup there. And that's really what that build does. Oh, Lutano's in a little bit of trouble. Ooh. Wow. Skates away with it. Skates away with it.
Toon is such an interesting player to me, because he's one of the best junglers in the game, and he often plays what would not be considered the meta build. I watched him surf Greninja in a tournament yesterday, and now I'm seeing a Brave Bird Talon. All great builds, just not the most common that you see for these Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, I definitely have seen the damage that it can do. As speaking of damage, the Cinderace Unite move is going to come out, and it does look like it's just so much back and forth trading, but Toon is there. He also pops that Unite move, and it is just so much burst. Look at that coming out, that Brave Bird Aerial Ace reset, but oh my goodness, goes so easy peasy, kind of locks it down. They're going to have to definitely reset here, look for a refight. Let's go ahead and take a look at the top lane, because this 1v1 is going to be huge. Lutano, he doesn't want to give it to him, but at the same time, he's going to have a hard time damage trading against his Zeraora.
Now that Zeraora is 8, it's just such a different situation.
So close. Not able to hold that down.
Zeraora at level 8 is maybe the scariest power spike any Pokemon has in the entire game. It's up there for sure. Discharge is one of the most devastating Unite moves in the game, and it's not even a Unite move.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. As we say that, it does look like Gosu Easy Peasy is able to secure. So TTV falling short of both of those mid-map objectives, and we are, oh my goodness gracious, did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. We have a Solar Beam.
That is a Solar Beam. You know, it's funny that I wondered if we would see a Solar Beam, and the main reason why is that they might have the potential to do something similar to like a poke comp that you would see in other MOBAs where, you know, you just take your time and poke at them a lot before trying to let engages happen or before fully engaging, because they're the team that has heals. So that is something interesting. As we say that the Mime Unite move is coming down, it does look like Chris Heroes and them are looking to siege up, and that's going to be the Unite move. The Bliss assistance coming out from Blissey Indie Bear onto Goof. They want to try to hold this down as much as they can, but they really just don't have that much help, and I don't know, they're trying to see if they can stay alive. The Unite move comes out from Chris. It does look like Lutano is able to get here and try to help a bit, but they did get a lot of points there.
And Krashy, you're just seeing that combination of Mime and Ninetales. You have multiple walls, multiple opportunities for Blizzard to proc that damage. That was huge for them, and I didn't even expect it or think about how important it would be for Mime and Ninetales to lane together. But it's huge. You get the stuns, you get all the freezing damage. It's a pretty massive combination.
Yeah, and one thing we have to not take for granted is the fact that we do have a scoreboard. Bless the scoreboard. It's so beautiful. We can see the context of the game. Mime's going to have that score shield dropping in. They're keeping that goal at 3 points, which I'm going to go ahead and be bold here. They may not drop that at all, but those mid-map objectives are coming out. It does look like Goof was able to get his Venusaur kind of evolution there as he got that elimination, that knockout with the Solar Beam. Now they're fighting over some bees, but we do have both those mid-map objectives coming back up again. Look at that. Venusaur Goof finds another one. Very, very nice plays coming out from the Solar Beam Venusaur. Definitely a little unconventional there.
I wonder if Blastoise is going to have a better time against Zeraora than that Wartortle did. You know, it's still such a tough lane to fight against the Zeraora, especially one level higher. But here we go. Blastoise, Zeraora. We have Unite moves coming out from both of them. They really want this.
Let's see, look at that. He's able to get both of those berries. It looks like Toon was falling in the bottom lane, so we might have to just swap over and see what that bottom lane is looking to do. Goof using that eject button, doesn't have a full heal. He's going to go ahead and pop his Unite move. Chris takes a big amount of damage there, so they're going to be able to siege that. Are they going to be able to lock in this elimination on? No, Mime locks it down on the Dreadnought.
And you've got that huge steal potential from the Solar Beam, but we have not got to see Goof use it effectively yet in these Dreadnought fights.
The Mime Wall! No! What would have been such a good Unite move was shut down. But look at this. Lutano gets a triple surf into the wall. They might be able to take down ECBZ, but no! That's going to be the Buddy Barrier. It does look like they were still able to grab him, so Goof trying to continue to siege again. He's not the type of Solar... He's got Solar Beam. He can't just run in crazy and do a ton of damage.
Nope.
He's Mage. So, you know, they're forced to back up there, and it looks like, look at this, the Mime Wall, they're keeping Lutano held down here. They're shutting him out a little bit. They're looking for that 47-point over dunk.
I believe he made it out. I believe
he gets out, but at what cost? The score is starting to stack up against them. We're in that final 2 minutes in just a bit. But this has been a tough one.
Zeraora just, you know, he's been able to stay top this entire game. He's won every single rotom. He's scored 80 points. It's been huge for Bad Macro.
Yeah, it has. You know, they're trying to keep up. I think that there's a lot to be said about the potential team comp, because I think when you do a double tank kind of setup, one thing that you realize is that you just have less damage on the team. But not only is there a little bit less damage on the team, they're also running Solar Beam. So I feel like the current setup and composition of TTV might just be a little void of damage. They may not be you know, able to close out some of these fights, especially when they're behind in levels a little bit. But hey, this is that final 2 minutes. Anything is possible. We do see that Zeraora split pushing in that top lane, but they're looking to get aggressive here. Lutano is incredibly low. Are they going to be able to pick off the Chris? It doesn't look like they'll be able to do so. Toon is now caught in a very bad position, forced to use that Unite move just to try to shift something around.
Wow, I mean, here we go. They're all fighting around this bottom goal, and now, pulling back, moving up to the Zapdos pit. I wonder if they're going to start it. I mean, they know they're behind at this point. No, going for actually a counter score in that top lane so they can get the score a little bit closer here. So we're going to see 88 points for TTV from that Talon.
Yeah, we do see the 88 setting in, just getting a little bit of pressure if they can. Is Toon going to be able to stay alive? No, unfortunately, Dexter not going to let him do so. We'll see what's going on with Lutano in the mid. I mean, they're really the biggest issue is that they're just running out of time and they don't really have a team fight. Lutano's going to get picked off here, and this is pretty much going to seal the deal, I think, for game number 1 because they just don't have the damage. You know, Venusaur's here. He got the Bliss Assistance. He gets that Solar Beam out, but there really is just no time. And if he doesn't wipe them all out here, then I think that might be game number 1 going in the hands of Bad Macro Flipbird.
It definitely could be. We have Blastoise back in 3 seconds. We do have Talonflame back, but they're picking them off so consistently that at least a couple members of TTV is down at any given time, just making the team fights almost impossible. And I didn't even notice this earlier, but it is an Egg Bomb Blissey.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely didn't notice that as well. I mean, I guess, you know, who are you looking to helping hand, right? I suppose that's definitely kind of the thought process there. Definitely didn't pay attention to that. But yeah, that's going to be the game. I mean, there really is just no win condition here. The time is basically run out, and it's going to go in the hands of Bad Macro Flipbird. They got the last 15 remaining seconds, but unfortunately, there's just not anything they can do here. Might be interesting to see. Yeah, might be interesting to see how they change it up. Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Here are a couple of my thoughts. Is first off, that Ninetales mime was brutal to deal with in that bottom lane, and I wonder if they're going to try to do something to combat that a little bit better here. But that was such an exciting first game there, and that.
Because there's so many options. You can pick the Wiggly if you value it that high. You can save it for the Mime pick. You could wait for a Snorlax pick. And I mean, you know, we know Zugrug's a phenomenal Snorlax. We saw him played in game number 1, but there's just so many options for roles like the attacker role, like the jungle role, like the tank role, and such limited options for that top lane role and the support role. So really interesting. I gotta say, you know, we have potentially 3 more games on our hands. I feel like we'll probably end up getting a healer lockout game. It may just be a shakeup that has to happen for one of these teams if they feel desperate, or if the teams both decide they want to change something different. But then again, we may see Lucario banned every single game, because I think the fear of giving one team Lucario is a very real fear that the teams should consider, right?
I almost, and this isn't what we're doing here today, but I almost would suggest at some point doing a draft with bans where Lucario was already banned. I mean, because every team is going to want to shut it out. And something I see we have the match coming up right here. Something I just want to mention real quick. I saw Phil Umis in the chat, and I think I would love to see one of these with his team, maybe against someone like Tyre or Good Morning or something like that.
You're literally reading my mind. I was on a call with Umus last night, and I told him, hey, I want to do these like monthly, or if I can, I would love to get you and Red Love's team to play against each other. Exactly. I literally said that verbatim last night. But listen, we're jumping into game number 2. We're starting to see some things. Let's go ahead and take a look at the opposite side now, because we do have Bad Macro Flipbird going to be on the right-hand side. They have that 1-0 lead in the series, but this tri-lane is a pretty important thing, so we'll see. They do get that Audino leash, so the leash kind of like pulls it their side. I'm not exactly sure who got that. That's a really hard thing to read as a caster. But
someone over on TTV grabbed that. Who was it? Indie Bear.
Okay. Yeah, he does have a lot of experience and a pretty high amount of energy. Or you know what I love? I don't know if you've ever caught this. Have you ever noticed that TTV likes to call the energy money?
I have seen
I love that. I just find it to be so interesting and unique. And I love watching this tri-lane. Snowpoint's has, you know, forced to use that eject button, has to use that. But look, we're getting to that top lane section, and I think it's important that we start to pay attention to it. Yeah.
So we've got Charmeleon, we've got Frogadier. Ooh, this Greedent. Okay. Here we go. We've got bees coming up in 10 seconds here, and they're just going to take all of the yummy experience that they can beforehand. Going to be a little late to these bees.
Yeah, a tiny bit. We'll see how much of it has actually been burned out. It doesn't really seem like it's that bad. The fire... Is that a fire punch?
Yeah.
Really interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
As a Charizard connoisseur myself, not really interested, or not really my usual go-to, but all right, we'll see how that plays out. We'll see if there's, you know, maybe something that I get to learn about my character. That said, Wigglytuff is going to get a nice little sing here. Looks like Bruv wants to try to keep that pressure up in the lane. He does have that level 4, so that's going to be the confusion barrier that he's got, or the confusion wall. I forget what the normal wall is called.
Light screen, I think.
Light screen. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's good. I'll have to study that someday.
Just as good. Everyone knows what you mean. Sing. I know they nerfed it. No, they didn't. It's still one of the best moves in the entire game, man. Sing is amazing. I can't wait to see how they try to combo that with not only Sylveon, who's beautiful when someone lands a good sing, but also Zeraora. I mean, it's so much damage.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. We do have a little bit of action going on in the top lane. Gosu Easy Peasy looking to be a bit aggressive. Has that 5-punch again, so they're going to secure a bit extra farm. Now to Dexter going to be moving over toward the Greedent. You know, I got to say, I'm going to spit this out here just in case. I actually don't know how to say Dexter's name, so I don't know if it's just maybe I should just call him Dexter. I've never actually thought about it until now, but a very close game. TTV has a light score lead, which basically means nothing. We do see Goop playing that hyper voice. That's what we expected, but look at the clock. 720 Bs are coming out any second now, and then those first big objectives will be on the map as well.
And you just watch Zugrug. He literally just walks towards the enemy team. He doesn't walk towards the bees at all, towards everyone on the enemy team and starts singing. It's such an amazing disruptive move there.
Yeah, absolutely. We still had that 2v2 going on in top lane. You know, it's crazy. I don't think anybody's been knocked out this game. I think it's been completely even. We just have a slight score differential, but we should be seeing some of these teams start to rotate down. It doesn't look, by looking at the levels, like there's any Unite moves. So you see Toon, though. That's going to be the big one. He is very close to his Unite move, and this might...
right now.
Yeah, this and that's a Surf Greninja as well. So we saw him play that yesterday. So, yeah, this is going to be very, very important. A big, big moment for them here.
Yeah, and we still have Charmeleon, and look at it. It's like one tick away from 9. It wants 9 so bad, because once that becomes Charizard, it changes the entire composition of this fight. But right now, TTV is in control here. I'm guessing, yes, they are going to secure this Dreadnought. Man, can you imagine the difference, Krashy?
Yeah.
Had that Charmeleon gotten one little bit of experience in this fight.
And I do think that's a big reason as to why Toon went ahead and forced that Unite move there. You know, he was able to read that situation and know, you know what, we need to make something happen. Wiggly going to be using that Wigglytuff ult as well. They're going to go ahead and break this. Look at that, a 37-point overdunk. So that's really going to set the pace here. And meanwhile, we do have Greedent in the top lane. That's going to be Dexter just doing what he can. But this takes, you know, a chubby squirrel a little bit of time to try to get this done. Is Toon going to be able to get there in time is the question. You do see him moving. He's got that smoke screen. Is he going to make it there? It's going to be so close. Look at this. That is so unfortunate, because he has the Surf versus the Belch, and look at that. He does get the steal. Big. Wow. So where we saw last game Bad Macro Flipbird had the advantage in the early game, taking both objectives, but now has been flipped on its head. That's going to be TTV finding that favor.
The question is, Krashy, I mean, are you actually the psychic genius? Because this Zeraora pick seems to be one of the most important picks that both teams have made.
I just think it's so incredibly strong. It starts to dominate the top lane. I mean, really, we've had a game where, you know, they haven't done like double healer lockouts, but they also haven't done like double top lane lockouts, and I think that could be something that starts to transition here. Finding some eliminations here in this like mid, you know, section of the map, this whole mid Corphish section, the river, as you might call it if you're coming from other MOBAs. I never know what to call this. And my team, one of my teammates, oh, look at the pool, the Zeraora tag coming out from Lutano. So nice. That's going to be a 30-point overdunk, and they are just setting the pace there. That was so beautiful. You have to appreciate the mechanical play of a Zeraora whenever they get to pull it off, and look at the dominance. They are just chasing them down in the enemy jungle.
This is, I mean, Sylveon, when you get to chase with Sylveon, you feel so incredibly mean. We have Char, though, and we have not seen a Char unite yet, have we?
I don't think so. No, there just really hasn't been a good opportunity for it. But look at that. Lutano does get taken down, so they're starting to pinch forward. That's going to be the Unite move there. And it's just back and forth. A lot of the Bliss assistance coming out from Indie Bear. Brub just trying to back up. They're doing some good fights here, and they're getting a little bit deep on the side of TTV. Yeah. You know, they're really in there.
Such a scary, scary second goal to be fighting at right now. But we do have a Unite from Greedent as well, which is another bonkers Unite move. They do push TTV back here, and they might actually be able to secure this Dreadnought because of that fight. We'll have to see. Dexter,
you know, skating around looking like Teeds in this game. I don't know what else to say. I mean, just really hitting the full-on Tokyo Drift with that Covet. But now they're starting to push it forward. They want to see if they can get control of this. That's going to be the Eldegoss Unite move. I should not have pulled away, I suppose. I wanted to see the influence that Lutano has, because I have to imagine that Lutano just has that Unite move. It seems like he always has the Unite move. He's going to be using the full heal. Is going to go on ahead and start putting out some damage. It does look like they they were able to secure. And look at this. The Zera Aura shows up. The fight completely flips. And unfortunately, Eldegoss's not going to be able to say, you know, to be able to keep them alive. But hey, it actually kind of went back and forth a little bit there. That was the wall kind of getting hit against the wall with the confusion, you know, turned it around. So while the game seems like it's going a little bit even, unfortunately for the side of Bad Macro Flipbird, the score does not seem to be that way.
Yeah, down on score, but I have to give it to them on that Dreadnought fight. Even though they lost Dread there, they were able to really position themselves well, get the KOs from TTV. I don't think TTV really gained much at all. In fact, I think overall they lost that encounter with how that ended up going.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see how they're going to be trying to make up this deficit, because the thing about these games, these competitive games, they move so fast. We're at 235. I mean, I you know, it's like hard to believe that, but you know, we do have Lutano and Chris going to be in these off lanes. Looking at that top lane, there is still a Rotom, so let's see if I can find somebody that's up there. Dexter, I think that they may not be willing to go for this. It's a little risky. You know, while they would love to have it, they would definitely hate to have it against them. But look at this, Toon is forcing. I mean, he may be just going ahead and looking for this to surf. Maybe he's just trying to pull him in. You never know what the comms are like on the side of TTV now. But
well, I think you're exactly right, Krashy. I think Bad Macro doesn't want it. They just want TTV to not grab it. That's all.
Lutano getting very low there at the hands of Chris, so they're going to get some health resets. That final 2-minute section, and the game is so close, you know, relatively speaking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think either team knows that they're up by more than 100, so I think if we see 100 points go in for Bad Macro, TTV has to assume it's a very close game one way or another.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll see what kind of mind games they can get. They do seem to have pulled in Zugrug a little bit, and it looks like the Unite moves are starting to drop now. That's going to be lots of buddy barriers. And you did see that big move coming out from Lucario, or Lutano, rather.
Unite there from Zug, Unite from Greninja, and you know what? It's interesting. We saw the Unites early from Bad Macro and a little later from TTV, and that might be the difference there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it also just buys them time when they're the team that's in the lead. You know, you do have Toon in here. He did not get a surf reset. He's just trying to do whatever kind of damage he can, but the Ghost of Easy Peasy is getting some shields as well, and it looks like they might be able to turn this around.
Melting them. Oh my gosh, he just melted so many people with that hyper voice. This is so close.
Yeah, but Chris Heroes is here, and if they can find this elimination, they are going to be able to get a nice point dunk in that top lane, and that is going to just slightly put them under, but the time is already under 1 minute, so nobody knows what the score is. They know that it's probably a close game here, but they don't know how close of a game it is, so they may end up playing this on faith this last 40 seconds. They may start looking to send somebody that has a score shield to try to find a play, but you know, with that score being put in after that minute mark, there's no more communication from the game to let anyone know what's happening here.
I think Bad Macro thinks they might be up here, which is really unfortunate.
Oh, well, that said, Zugrug just scored plus 50, and so now I think they know that they're not in the lead anymore. They know they need to make a play. You do see Chris like trying to find some kind of a backdoor potential, but Goof is just shredding him, the full heal coming out, and there might not be enough time here. 26 points going in from the side of Bad Macro, but that's not going to be enough if they're not able to get it. Greedent has a few seconds. Will he be able to put it in? And I'm going to be honest, even I have kind of lost track of the score here.
Oh, we just saw 40 from TTV's Blissey, though.
Look at that. Such a close game.
Wow, wow, wow. What a great match. And really, I think you're so right, Krashy. Neither team knew exactly where they were, but as soon as Wiggly threw those points in, it was a mad dash.